It's time now for Fort Leboeuf Bison football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Visit sunny1057fm.org for all of the action all season long. Brought to you by the Corry Federal Credit Union at corryfcu.org.
Additional support comes from Brozell Construction, Family Inc. Innovations, Leboeuf Creek Cattle, Waterford Beverage, Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill, High T Fence Systems, O'Brien Transmission, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Jim Brozell Construction, Wise Physical Therapy, and Al's Appliance Sales and Service.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 105.7 Sunny FM. We are proud to present the Corry Federal Credit Union pregame show, coming to you live from the historic Erie Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's the opening round of the District 10 Class 3A playoffs, and the bracket brings us a thrilling matchup tonight. The 4th-seeded Fort Leboeuf Bison taking on the 5th-seeded Corry Beavers in a winner-moves-on battle under the lights. I'm Ben Brozich, your color commentator for tonight's broadcast, and alongside me is Doug Gilghrist, who will be calling every snap, blitz, and big play as the postseason begins. The energy is high, and the stakes are higher. Kickoff is right around the corner. So we are going to start our Corry Federal Credit Union pregame show. Doug, how are you tonight?
Great. How you doing? Glad to be here on this lovely Halloween night.
What do you have for us before we start the first game in our playoff venture?
Yep. Well, tonight's matchup features a rematch of last year's opening round game in the District 10 playoffs. And the 28 players from Fort Leboeuf who were on that field last year and who are also on the field tonight have had 364 days to think about this game. They lost last year 9-6 on a last-second field goal by Zach Turbin of Corry that not only did he make it, but it bounced off the crossbar and bounced over for a heartbreaking end of Fort Leboeuf's season.
We're not started.
Shoot.
We got to start it all over.
Yeah. Whoops.
It's time now for Fort Leboeuf Bison football coverage on
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start over for those of you that heard the start of our broadcast. We had some technical difficulty. So we're going to start over one more time. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 105.7 Sunny FM. We are proud to present the Corry Federal Credit Union pregame show, coming to you live from historic Erie Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's the opening round of the District 10 Class 3A playoffs, and the brackets bring us a thrilling matchup tonight. The 4th seed Fort Leboeuf Bison taking on the 5th seed Corry Beavers in a winner-moves-on battle under the lights. I'm Ben Brozich, your color commentator for tonight's broadcast, and alongside me is Doug Gilghrist, who will be calling every snap, blitz, and big play as the postseason begins. The energy is high and the stakes are higher. Kickoff is just around the corner. So, Doug, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, once again, as I was saying, some of you may have heard, may not have heard, but this is a rematch of last year's opening round District 10 3A matchup between Corry and Fort Leboeuf. And these players that were on Fort Leboeuf's team, there was 28 players from last year's team that are still on this year's team. They've had 364 days to think about last year's loss, as Corry made a last-second field goal to win 9-6. A field goal that not only went through the uprights, but it bounced off the crossbar before it went through the uprights. So that game was last year, November 1st. Here we are, October 31st. And the same two teams playing, so you can bet that Coach Blos and those 28 members of last year's team haven't forgot that. They've waited 364 days to get revenge for that game, and this I think the Bison are going to be motivated for this game.
Yeah, so they had a bitter loss at the end of last season, and they're ready to start this year into the playoffs with a victory.
Absolutely. And it's also a rematch of a game earlier this year where Fort Leboeuf had a narrow victory over Corry, a game in which they scored 31 points in the first half, and then they were shut out in the second half as Corry made a frantic comeback but fell 2 points short.
Well, and from looking at their record, Corry has won the last 4 in a row, and so has Fort Leboeuf.
Absolutely. Both teams are definitely playing their best ball coming into this game, and this will be an interesting game. The weather is a little bit colder, probably the coldest game we've had of the year. A little bit of wind, which I think will favor Fort Leboeuf in the end, because the Bison are more of a running team. Corry features the pass more. So if they're not able to pass the ball as effectively, their quarterback, Lucas Baker, threw for almost 300 yards in the first meeting this year. So if the wind and or the cold come into play, he may not be as effective as he was earlier in the year.
Well, and one thing that I've noticed about Fort Leboeuf is the word that keeps popping up into my head is synergy. And the definition of synergy is the interaction or cooperation of two or more substances or agents that have a combined effect greater than the sum of their parts. And really right now, what Fort Leboeuf is doing is they're playing greater than the sum of their parts. They don't have just, although Sadowski is definitely their workhorse at running back, they don't just lean on one player to carry them. All of their players have a vital role, even if it's a backup role, even if it's a role play where they might only catch 1 or 2 passes. They seem to have that synergy working for them in the last 4 games.
Absolutely. And Skylar Sadowski has really come on this year, especially in the second half of the year, as Skylar Sadowski leads the way for the Bison with over 1,300 yards rushing and 15 rushing touchdowns. So he is definitely the go-to guy for the Bison.
Yeah, he's definitely a workhorse. And the one thing that I love, and I keep saying, is his game has evolved. When we started the season, he was looking for contact under every single rush. And now he's playing a little smarter. He's doing the sidestep. He's relying on his speed. There are even occasional times where he might step out of bounds, realizing save himself for a little bit later. I'm interested now that we're done with the regular season. Is he going to go back to just knocking people over, or is he going to keep the running game that he's developed over the course of the season? And for me, I hope he keeps that type of game he has developed over the course of the season, because not every hit has to be running somebody over.
Absolutely. And as the players are going out to midfield for the opening coin toss. But interesting enough, Sadowski, out of their 10 games, has 8 100-yard rushing games. Corry was one of the 2 teams to hold him under 100 yards this year. So
Okay.
it will be interesting to see how that factor manifests itself, especially if the passing game isn't going to be as optimal as it could be under
With the
better weather conditions.
Well, and that's just it. But just like any team that's familiar with one another, the way they played the first game, it could be very different the second time they play.
Absolutely.
And so what we saw the first time, this could be a complete role reversal.
Yep. And the Bison offensively have really come on the last 4 games. The last 2 games they've scored over 40 points. So, they are – it will be an interesting game. As we said, Corry's leans mainly on the pass. Their leading rusher has less than 300 yards rushing this year. So the Bison shut down their running game pretty well last meeting this year. But like I said, Lucas Baker, their quarterback, threw for 285 yards and I believe 4 touchdowns in that game. So he will definitely be the key to this game. And Fort Leboeuf's defense, especially their secondary, has played a lot better since that game.
Oh, yes.
They gave up back-to-back games against Farrell and Corry where they gave up a lot of passing yards. And, since that game, they've pretty much shored it up, as we are going to pause real quick for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, and we are back. And one of the things that I'm interested in seeing is, since they know what the running game is now, they're familiar with what Corry is bringing in the running game, are they going to be able to change their defensive scheme to try to put more pressure on Corry's quarterback, Baker? It seems to me that we were able to get some pressure on him in the last game we played, but it was inconsistent, hence the high passing yardage.
Absolutely.
So the question is, are our linebackers going to be able to maybe focus a little less on the run game and a little bit more at applying pressure to him when he drops back? Now, the receivers are good. It's not just that he has a strong arm, but they run decent routes, and they have some decent skill. So our defensive backs also going to be able to give a little bit more coverage than they did last game.
Yep, and that will be the big key, as the players are taking the field a few minutes early, as it's 6:55. And
Fort Leboeuf will be returning the opening kickoff.
No liner, Bill, no liner. We have Amaro and Blows back deep.
So the Bison will receive the kick.
Unless you want to get the lead, go ahead and get the lead.
Vamaro and Blows are deep for the kickoff. Corry, the referees are talking, and Corry has yet to line up for the kickoff. Now, the one thing that I did notice towards the end of the season is that Sadowski was sharing the workload for the last couple games. He still got his yards, but a lot of other people were getting the ball. Is that going to be the same strategy that they use coming into the playoffs? Also, what new wrinkle are they going to do on offense to try to counter some of the problems they had in the second half when they played Corry before?
Right. And, I think Sadowski's going to be the main workhorse, but it is good especially to put on film for Corry to look at, that other people were getting the ball. You know, Xavier Blows, Aiden Strushin, you know, they had Brady Black. They had some good success. So Corry can't just key on Sadowski, and, you know, they can mix it up a little bit. As the referees break their huddle, and they're going to place the ball down for the opening kickoff. As we have Blos and Vamaro as the returners for the Bison.
And it is cold and a bit windy out there tonight, and that is probably going to have an effect on how the game is played. But I got to tell you, it's really nice being at the Vet Stadium.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful stadium. Although it's on the older side, it's still really cool to be here and to see the school in the background behind the end zone.
And Landon Walliser for the Corry Beavers is approaching the kick, and it is off, and it's fielded at the 20-yard line, up over the 30 to the 35, over, close to the midfield goes Giovanni Bartone with the return, and Fort Leboeuf will start in excellent field position at their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, it was kicked short, which might have been an indication of the wind. And as he was running up the middle, he started to stumble as he got to the 40-yard line and was able to get it close to the 45.
And they do mark it right at the 45-yard line as Dominic Walters in the shotgun. Sadowski goes in motion to the right side of Walters. Walters takes the snap, hands it off to Sadowski up the middle, breaks free over the 50 to the 47-yard line for a gain of 8.
Yeah, and Sadowski, he had to sift through the line. He went left. He did a spin move. That wasn't a hard run. He was just very patient and was able to needle his way through the line to get very close to a first down.
And they're going to mark it at the 46-yard line, so give him a gain of 9 on that one. 2nd down and 1 at the Corry 46-yard line. So one play into the game, and they're already in Corry territory. Walters in the shotgun, takes a snap. He's going to throw it for the first time. Can't find anybody. He's rolling to his left. He's going to get up close to a first down. And they're going to mark it short right at the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be a 2nd down or a 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, he looked to his right, and there was somebody there for a curl route, but he had pressure coming from the defensive end on his left, and he decided to roll out to his left. I think he might have thought he was close to the first down marker. He ran out of bounds. He might have been wondering if some contact might have gotten the first down for him.
Absolutely. Walters takes the snap, hands it to Sadowski around the right side. He gets over the first down and gets up to the 41-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 4 yards up to the 42-yard line.
Yeah,
and there's a first down for the.
And that was Sadowski bearing his shoulder into the defensive player, pushing his way for the first down. And they are in kind of a hurry-up offense. They're not huddling, and they keep running out of the shotgun.
Walters. Strushin goes in motion, gets set. Walters takes the snap. He's going to roll to his right. He throws it up over the middle. It's complete to Walfarth, and he lost the ball. Fumble, and Corry recovers at the 33-yard line.
That was a nice pass by Walters. It was about an 8-yard pass, and when he turned to run, they just slapped it right out of his hand. He didn't even take a very big hit. He hasn't caught the ball very much this year. And it looked like he just didn't have good control over it. But
tough way to
Leboeuf
start.
looks like they can move the ball on Corry as they started their first drive. So even though they turned it over, I feel like they have some momentum they can build off of.
As Corry takes over at their own 33-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 33. Lucas Baker in the backfield as the quarterback. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. And he is wrestled down by Carson Stoltz as he throws him to the ground at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, no, Stoltz, that was very close to possibly being a penalty because he had him up off his feet. He put him down pretty hard, but he could have put him down a lot harder. I feel like he just kind of dropped him when he could have really driven him into the ground.
Absolutely.
So that's probably why the penalty wasn't called.
9 minutes and 52 seconds to go here in a scoreless first quarter. Corry's first offensive possession. Lucas Baker back in the shotgun. Takes the snap, he slips, and he is caught right at the line of scrimmage, and that is Dion Canaday, who gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, right now our defensive line and linebackers are setting the tone for this drive. Corry's got about 4 yards, but they were some of the hardest 4 yards I've seen anybody get all season.
Yep. Well,
they are definitely playing with passion for Buff Bisons are.
Yep. That'll set up a 3rd down and 7 at the 37-yard line as Corry back in the huddle. He just break the huddle. 10 seconds to go on the play clock.
And they're going to bunch all the receivers up with an H-back left and one wide tight to each side of the formation.
Shotgun formation. Man goes in motion. Baker's going to try to throw it. He's got some pressure. He throws it. It's tipped up in the air. It is caught, but right at the line of scrimmage. It's caught by number 22, Lamar Albers, but nowhere near the first down.
Right now, Fort Leboeuf is moving faster, stronger, quicker. They're setting the tone completely, and Corry looks like they're desperate to get a play off and to get it run well.
Absolutely. That ball was tipped up for grabs, and they were very fortunate that was not intercepted by Fort Leboeuf.
Yeah, the question about pressure on the quarterback, could they get it? Well, they're definitely getting it tonight.
Back in punt formation. It's punted down it's going to bounce to the 25. Walforth picks it up at the 15. He's trying to make a move. He's spun down at about the 24, 25-yard line.
And Walforth held onto that ball with 2 hands and curled it up close to his body. He's not going to let another ball come out of his hands tonight.
Absolutely. Nice to see Coach Blows going right back to him, too, and not punishing him for that fumble on the first possession.
Well, you always have those playoff jitters, and the excitement, can work both ways. It can make you have a great play or make you have a mistake. But Corry's also bringing that same emotion. But right now, Fort Leboeuf seems to be setting the tempo on both sides of the ball.
And the Bison are going to start off at their own 25-yard line. Under 8 to go here in the first quarter. No score as Walters takes the snap. He's going to run it himself up over the 25. Breaks a couple tackles, gets up to the 30-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 5 yards for Dominic Walters as he took it on a planned quarterback draw.
Yeah, and he made a couple guys miss that got him an extra 2 yards. And the way this game is going right now, every yard seems to be like it's going to count.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 5 for Fort Leboeuf at their own 30-yard line. Sadowski lines up on his left side. Walters takes the snap, fakes it to Sadowski. He can't find a receiver. He's going to run it himself up over the 30, and he is knocked down at the 33-yard line for about 3 yards as Dominic Walters gets close to a first down. Going to set up a 3rd and short.
Now, he was looking to pass that ball, and as soon as he saw that wasn't available, he ran behind Sadowski, and Sadowski was ready to block immediately. It looks like they're giving him several options on these play-action passes.
Absolutely. 3 receivers in the formation here. Sadowski next to Walters. 3rd down and 2 at the 33. Walters going to take it himself on a quarterback keeper up over the 40 to the 50. Breaks his tackle, gets up over the 40, and he is dragged down from behind at the 36-yard line of Corry.
Yeah, and Walters is just running behind all the blocks, and when he makes a move to make someone miss, and he's making several people miss, it's the most slightest move, yet it's getting him a ton of yards.
And they're going no huddle. They set the ball at the 39-yard line of Corry. And Walters going to take it himself again as he gets right back to the line of scrimmage as he's swallowed up after no gain That was a 28-yard run on that previous play.
Yeah, and the blocking is just phenomenal right now. And Walters gets up yelling at the sidelines, motioning his arm. I feel like he wants to keep moving fast, but it looks like the coaches want to move a little slower right now.
2nd down and 10 here at the 39-yard line of Corry for the second straight possession. Fort Leboeuf into Corry territory.
Yeah, the one thing I see already is Walters has his hands on his hips, so I hope they give a little bit more variety. Although having the extra blocker, I guess we answered how they were going to deal with Sadowski not getting 100 yards last time they played
Play
Corry.
clock running down, and Walters did not get it off as the play clock, I believe, hit 0 before the snap.
Yeah.
And they did call a timeout, Fort Leboeuf did, so they will save the 5 yards, but that cost them their first timeout, and we will take a break.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Okay, and we are back, and right now it looks like the emotion kind of got the best of them where they had to call a timeout.
And we're back 2nd down and 10 at the Corry 39-yard line. Walters and Sadowski in the backfield. He's going to hand it to Sadowski up the middle, up over the 35 to the 32-yard line. And the ball may have come out, and it is another fumble by Fort Leboeuf, and Corry recovers again right at the exact yard line that they got it the last time, at the 33-yard line.
And Sadowski comes off to the field and goes straight to a coach, and it looks like his one arm got a little bit of a stinger. It took several players to bring him down, and it looks like someone was able to tee him up a little bit and put a hard hit on his right arm. Now he's sitting on the bench, and it looks like he's not feeling too good.
And that will be a big thing to look at going forward.
Well, that's going to be a loss on the offense and the defense.
Absolutely. As Corry starts off at the 33. High snap. Baker pulls it down. He's going to throw it deep down the middle, and there's a flag on the play. It looks like there's going to be either defensive holding or defensive interference, as the ball was thrown right at the point of the catch. The ball was overthrown, so it was incomplete.
Yeah, I was watching the quarterback throw the ball, and the flag got thrown when it was kind of in midair, and my eyes didn't track towards the receiver yet, so I'm not sure which way this is going to go.
And it is a holding on the defense, so just a 5-yard penalty will move the ball up 5 yards, and an offensive automatic first down.
Well, and that's how important Sadowski is on the defense as well as the offense. That was the first pocket the quarterback had where he could make a decent throw.
First down and 10 here at the 38-yard line. Baker in the pistol formation. Kennedy in the backfield. He's going to throw it out to the flat to Kennedy. He makes a move up over the 50 to the 40 to the 35, 30, and he is dragged down at the 25-yard line is Dion Kennedy.
Yeah, and the backup, I'm not sure who that was for Sadowski, but he was not able to keep up with the running back when he caught that ball.
And they're going no huddle down to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Baker looking for the snap in the pistol formation. Kennedy in the backfield behind him. Baker takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. And that was number 8, Connor Sterling, actually.
Oh, there's a flag. I'm not sure.
And there is a flag on the field. And it looks like they're going to march it back. And it is a holding. Oh,
personal foul on the defense.
So that will move it up half the distance to the goal line.
Well, Corry was really smart because what they did is they went to the hurry-up offense, so Sadowski didn't have a chance to get back out on the field. And at the looks of it right now, he doesn't look like he's ready to come back out. So we're at the 13-yard line.
Yep, first.
They have a chance for a first down before they score a touchdown. And the way they're moving the ball, it doesn't look good for the Bisons.
Baker in the pistol formation. Man goes in motion. Hands it off up the middle, and it's Canada up to the 6-yard line. Gains about 7.
Yeah, and they're really running and passing towards the left side of the line, and they're dominating on that side at the moment. It doesn't look like we're even getting any kind of penetration on the left side of the line.
And we'll give them a gain of 6 on that, setting up a 2nd down and 4 at the 7. The Beavers can get a first down at the 3-yard line as we're down to 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Scoreless game still. Lucas Baker back in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. High snap. Brings it down. Canada gets the handoff up over the 5. Close to a first down. And it looks like they will give him a first down, as that's a gain of 5. Setting up a 1st and goal at the 2.
Yeah, at this moment, if they're going to stop them from scoring, they're going to have to somehow put pressure on one side of the line or the other and hope they guess right. At this point, I'd be blitzing off the right side to try to stop this run.
4 shots to go for the Beavers from their 2-yard line. Baker, he's going to throw it. He's going to roll out, throws it into the end zone, and it is low. That was intended for number 3, Blake Cook.
Yeah,
who could not pull it off his shoe tops.
He threw that perfectly low and away from the defensive back. It just skipped off the ground right before it reached the receiver's hands. That was a beautiful play, great vision, and under pressure, he made the perfect throw.
And 2nd down and 2. 2nd down and goal with the 2-yard line. 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go here in the first quarter, in a scoreless first quarter. Lucas Baker takes the snap, hands off up the middle, and into the end zone. That's Connor Sterling for the Corry Beavers, as the Beavers strike first and take a 6-0 lead.
Well, and I think you can see right now, while Sadowski's the workhorse on offense, he's also very pivotal on defense. We really got 0 pressure up the middle or anywhere in the line, especially when they were running the ball.
And Sadowski is standing on the sideline, so it looks like he may be coming back in for offense. As here's the point after touchdown. The snap is down, and it is blocked as the Fort Leboeuf Bison block it up the middle, as that will keep the score 6-0 with 2:48 to go here in the first quarter.
This portion of Fort Leboeuf football on the Sunny 105.7's Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Marsh Real Estate Services, your local full-service realty team serving northwestern PA and southwestern New York with offices in Summit Township, Mill Creek, Harbor Creek, and Corry. Online at marshamarsh.com. Best of luck to the Fort Leboeuf Bison from Marsh Real Estate Services.
Well, we have 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the first quarter, and this game has been a roller coaster right now. A lot of hurry-up offense, a lot of big plays, and a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, the Bison have moved the ball, both of their offensive possessions, but 2 fumbles have kept them off the scoreboard as Corry takes advantage of the second fumble and marches 67 yards into the end zone.
Yeah, and my worry right now is that Fort Leboeuf played their entire game in the first quarter emotionally, and with the energy they brought, they could be exhausted for the rest of the game. So hopefully once everything settles and they get back to their fundamental football, we get different results.
As Walleyes back to kick off here, and here comes the kick. It's a short kick, going to be taken at the 17-yard line, up over the 30. To the 35, to the 40, that's Bartone, Giordi Bartone, and he gets up to the 47-yard line, just like the first kickoff of the game.
Yep, those are short kickoffs, but we're getting great returns, and we're almost at the 50-yard line.
Absolutely. That was a 31-yard return by Bartone.
Yeah, I see Sadowski. Is he back out there yet? Do we see him?
Sadowski is still on the sidelines.
Still on the sidelines. So
he's still dealing with some sort of injury.
Well, and that's why we let other players get the ball towards the end of the season in case something like this happens.
So they have many other weapons at their disposal. Walters in the backfield. Looks like Vamaro to his right. There's a handoff along the left side, and that was Brady Black. Gets up right to midfield as he gets about 3 yards on that carry.
Yeah, and that was a solid run, a solid, strong run off the left tackle. And if they can get just some consistency going instead of worrying about big plays, I think that everything's going to settle down and they'll get back to Bison football.
Walters in an empty backfield. Now Black motions back into the backfield to his right. Walters takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Walters is going to take it himself, and he is dragged down in the backfield for a loss of about 2 back to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, and that was Jack Vincherry with the tackle, and he just had the right angle, and Walters was not able to run away from it.
That's going to set up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 9 at their own 48-yard line. As we may see Walters go to the air on this play.
Well, and that's something you have to think about is he ran a lot in those first couple of drives, and then on defense we were giving up some passes where we had to have a holding call in order to keep it from happening.
Walters takes the snap, straight drop back, throw over the middle. It's caught at the 40-yard line by Xavier Blos, and that will be a 1st down as that is a gain of 11 yards.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was a bang-bang play. He threw it right across the middle, got hit in the thigh as soon as he caught it, but he latched onto that ball and wasn't going to let it go. That was a beautiful play across the middle.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line as the Bison have a new set of downs. Walters takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Black. He's going to throw it to the sidelines, and it is caught and dropped by Mikey Vamaro at the 20-yard line. As there was good coverage, but Vamaro had it in his hands, but just couldn't squeeze it.
Yeah, that was a fade pass off the back shoulder, and he had the jump ball. He was there. It could have been caught, but the defender had his hand in the right spot, even though I don't think he even knew the ball was coming.
50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Corry leads 6-0 as the Bison have a 2nd down and 10 at the Corry 41-yard line. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Black. Walters up the middle, breaks into the secondary, into the 20, to the 15. Gets dragged down at the 10, across the 10, maybe to the 9-yard line. And Corey's saying they fumbled again. But the referee is saying he was down by contact.
Right now, Walters has to be exhausted. The hole he had up the middle to run was huge, but by the time he got to the secondary, you could see how tired he was running, and he just didn't get down fast enough that he almost fumbled it again.
That was a 32-yard run by Dominic Walters, setting up a 1st down and goal at the 9-yard line. As Dominic Walters is really taking up the rushing slack with Sadowski out. And Walters is going to take a quarterback draw up the middle, and he gains about 3 yards up to the 6 or 7.
Yeah, that was a shoestring tackle that he made. But right now, Walters is not moving as fast as he normally does. He's done a lot of running already early on, and we're about the 6 or 7 yard line at the end of the first quarter. It is 6-0.
That will be the end of the first quarter, and we will be back after a word from our sponsors.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City, and Waterford, online at napaonline.com. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Jim Brozell Construction at 9298 Peach Street in Waterford, phone 814-866-2075. Wise Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Waterford, online at wisept.com. Al's Appliance Sales and Service at 110 High Street in Waterford, phone 814-796-4007.
All right, first play of the second quarter. Walters under center. Second down and goal at the 7. He turns, hands the ball off to Sadowski, who's back in the ball game. Gets up over the 5-yard line, and he was carrying players.
There was just a Corry player. They had about 3 or 4 guys on Sadowski, and a Corry player literally just jumped on top of everyone's head and brought the pile down.
Yep, and that
These players, ladies and gentlemen, are playing with so much emotion and at such a fast pace. It's hard to believe they're going to be able to play a whole game like this. I have not seen a game like this all season.
That's a gain of 4 up to the 3-yard line, setting up a third down and goal with the 3. Probably 4-down territory here, as close as they are. As Walters in the shotgun, Sadowski to his left. Strushin moves back into the backfield, and Strushin's going to take the handoff up the middle, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
He powered through
Strushin.
Right at the goal line. It was him and the linebacker, and they just had to have a battle of will. And he just absolutely pushed through to get like maybe 2 inches across the line.
As that ties the game up 6-all with 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go, as Lucas Cans on to try to kick the extra point to give the Bison a lead. As here's the snap. It's a low snap. Walters has to pick it up, and he's going to try to run it. He's trying for the end zone, and he is knocked out before the goal line. So that snap rolled back to Walters. He was unable to grab it and get the hold down. So he tried to run it, and he gets knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So that will keep the ball game at 6-6, and we will be right back.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Walters made the right call trying to run that into the corner of the end zone. He just didn't have quite the angle, but he was only about a half a yard short.
As Cans is in for the kickoff, 6-6. Couple Beavers back to receive at the 5-yard line, and he booms it down. It's a high kick. It's going to be taken at the 1-yard line, up over the 10, and he is tripped up at the 15-yard line.
By Vomero.
What a play by Mikey Vomero.
He flew down the field, made a shoestring tackle while diving flat out like Superman. The energy these guys are playing with is unbelievable.
And they will mark the ball at the 18-yard line. So that is where Corry will begin their next drive. The worst starting field position of any team so far in this game. So Corry will start off at their 18.
And I do not see Sadowski out there.
And they might be saving him for offense. As Baker takes the snap, he hands the ball off up over the right side. And that's a gain of about 5 up to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, that was just a basic run up the middle and then pushing the pile with some of the offensive linemen. But that puts him in a great position at 2nd and 5.
Yep. 2nd down and 5 at the 23-yard line.
Nose of the football touching the 23-yard line, just to the left of that right hash.
Baker in the shotgun. 10:33 to go. 6-6 ball game here in the second quarter. As he takes the snap, run up the middle, and not too much, maybe a yard up to the 24-yard line.
Yep, but I feel like
Kennedy.
Yeah, he got hit immediately, fell about a yard forward. But right now I feel like this puts Corry in a really good place because their passing game seems to be putting pressure on the Bison, even though they haven't completed that many passes, just with the way the defense is playing and with that holding call they had earlier. You can just tell that Corry might have some success if they try to throw the ball.
Play clock down to 10 as Corry breaks the huddle. 3rd down and 4 at the 24-yard line. Baker takes the snap. He's dropped straight back. He's going to throw it out in the flat, up over the 30, and he's dragged down at the 34-yard line. And that is a 1st down for Corry, and the receiver is down.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been. It wasn't called, and I'm not sure if it was, but it looked like there was a little bit of a horse collar. I don't think it was intentional, but it was all he could grab onto. Otherwise, they would have given up a much bigger gain. And we'll have to take a break and hear from our sponsors.
This portion of Fort Leboeuf football on the Sunny 105.7's Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Marsh Real Estate Services, your local full-service realty team serving northwestern PA and southwestern New York with offices in Summit Township, Mill Creek, Harbor Creek, and Corry. Online at marshamarsh.com. Best of luck to the Fort Leboeuf Bison from Marsh Real Estate Services. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City and Waterford, online at napaonline.com. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Jim Brozell Construction at 9298 Peach Street in Waterford, phone 814-866-2075. Wise Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Waterford, online at wisept.com. Al's Appliance Sales and Service at 110 High Street in Waterford, phone 814-796-4007.
So Marcus Meredith was able to walk off the field under his own power. He was laying down for quite a bit of time, but it's good to see that he's able to walk off.
And with that catch and run, that puts the ball, gives Corry a 1st down with 9:36 to go here in the second quarter.
And I see Sadowski out there playing right side linebacker.
Yep. 1st down and 10 at the 34. Baker back to pass. He's going to throw it deep, but way overthrown, as there's good coverage by Fort Leboeuf anyway. But that ball had no chance to be caught.
Well, he had some pressure coming down from Sadowski, and I think he just had to make a decision, and he threw it deep, hoping the receiver could run under. But that was perfect coverage, and it kind of impeded the receiver's opportunity to run in a full sprint.
Sets up a 2nd down and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The defense plays very differently when Sadowski's out there.
Absolutely. Good to see him back in there. As Baker takes the snap, hands the ball off, and he's up over the 40-yard line to the 45-yard line. That's Connor Sterling, who broke a couple tackles up the middle and gets the 1st down.
So Connor Sterling, Ethan Horn had his arm wrapped right around him, and that is a strong boy, and he was able to just rip right out of that tackle for a very big first down as they ran it right up the middle. That running back showed tremendous strength on that one.
That's going to set up a first down and 10 at their own 45-yard line. 6:54 to go here in the first half. Baker in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands it off, and he gets nowhere as Connor Sterling gets the call as he gets about a yard. They'll mark him at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and Hunter Huck hit him as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, and he was able to fall forward for about half a yard.
And with the score 6-6 here, nearing midway into the second quarter, might be setting up for another dramatic ending like last year's playoff game. As the Beavers come to the line of scrimmage, 10 on the play clock. Second down and 9. Baker's going to try to throw it again. He throws it up over the middle to the 50, and he is tackled short of the first down. That will be at the 48-yard line of Fort Leboeuf.
Yeah, Hunter Huck and Vamera were able to wrap him up immediately, but they got some good yardage there. It's going to make it third and short.
Yeah, that was about a 6-yard gain, a 5-yard gain, bringing up a third down and 5. Third and 4, we'll call it, at the 48-yard line. Baker in the shotgun. Man in motion. Hands it off up the middle, and that's going to be enough for a first down up over the 45-yard line, and that's Canada.
Yeah, and right now these runs up the middle are like a heavyweight battle, and people are just throwing the hooks as much as they can. This is old school football right now with the way they're running up the middle and fighting for every single inch. There's twists, there's turns, gang tackling. It's just these kids are giving everything they got right now.
That sets up a first down and 10 at the 44-yard line. Baker takes a snap, throws the ball over the middle, and falls in between two Corry defenders.
Yeah, Keaton Frazina was wide open going across the middle, and unfortunately Baker just overthrew him, led him a little too far, and he didn't really have a chance for the ball.
That sets up a second down and 10 at the 44-yard line. 6:48 to go here in the second quarter. I apologize if I misread the clock. Sometimes some of the lights are out, so sometimes I misread a 6 for an 8. So it is now 6:48 to go here in the first half as Baker takes a snap. He's going to throw a little screen pass out to the left side, and he is hit and knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And that was Connor Sterling with the catch and run, but a very short gain.
Yeah, Hunter Huck is all over the place, but Sterling is incredibly fast, and they're able to get these short little gains that are making a difference on third down.
And they mark it at the 42-yard line for just a gain of 2 yards. So big play here as the Bison try to hold them and get the ball back here. Third down and 8 at the 42-yard line. Baker takes a snap. He's going to throw it deep down the left sideline. He's got a man, and it is knocked away by Giovanni Bartone on the defensive play.
Yep, Keaton Frazina had the ball in his hands. It was there, but as soon as he got contact, it was knocked away and rolled as they fell to the ground. Beautiful defensive play.
And that ball was knocked away at a 5-yard line, so that was a deep pass down the left sidelines. And it looks like Corry might be setting up to go for it as they're in the huddle here. Fourth down and 8.
I think this is actually a smart decision by Corry because they're showing that they can pass the ball as long as they're going to execute. Fortunately, they haven't done that on a couple plays in this drive, and it saved Fort Leboeuf.
Baker takes the snap. He's going to roll to his right. He's looking for a man. He throws it to the sidelines. It's caught but out of bounds, and that will turn the ball over on downs as the ball was complete, but it was thrown too far to the sideline.
The receiver was wide open, and it went high as he was rolling out to the right, and that's not something you normally see from Baker. So I'm wondering if something's going on where he's not throwing the ball as accurately as he could be, because that's a couple throws now that uncharacteristically have been off by quite a bit.
Yep, and they had a nice play on that one because, like you said, he was wide open. He just couldn't hit him. But with 6:29 to go here in the first half, Fort Leboeuf takes it over with a 6-6 tie game. As there's a handoff around the right side, he gets up over the 45-yard line to the 46, and that is Skylar Sadowski for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Chris Bemis for Corry made the tackle, but he just kind of hit a wall of bodies that weren't really moving, and then he was able to fall forward for a few extra yards.
And it's good to see Sadowski back in the ball game as he flanks Walters to the left, 2 receivers to the left. Now Sadowski moves up to the slot position. Baker in the backfield, or Brady Black in the backfield as he gets up over the line of scrimmage to about the 47-yard line for about a yard.
Yeah, right now, for the Bisons to get some momentum, they're going to need a little bit of a splash play because most of their other splash plays have turned into turnovers. And they just need something that says, we can beat you deep to open up this running game. But right now they haven't shown anything to scare Corry to play their defensive backs a little further back.
Absolutely. It's a bunch receivers to the right side. As Walters in the pistol formation, he's going to pitch it out to Sadowski to the right, and he's up over the 40 to the 35, and he breaks into the secondary to the 33-yard line.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was a beautiful pitch. We've been running most of our off tackle or up the middle with a straight handoff or a delay, but right there, that was the first pitch we had, and he could have gone further outside. The defense over pursued it. He cut it back just a little bit and was able to get a really nice run out of that.
And that allowed Sadowski to get ahead of steam going before he got to the line of scrimmage with that pitch. So you might see that more often in this game.
That was a great change of pace.
As that sets the Bison up 1st and 10 at the Corry 33-yard line. And Sadowski goes into the backfield alongside Walters. And the whistle blows, and
delay game.
It looks like the play clock is at 0, so we will have a delay of game on Fort Leboeuf, moving it back 5 yards to the 38-yard line.
Yeah. Right now, that really was like a curveball. Like to use a pitching analogy, they were hitting the fastballs up the middle, off tackle, and that pitch really gave a change of pace where the Corry team really lunged into the center of the line, and that gave them an opportunity to see what was happening, and like you said, ahead of steam. But right now they're at a disadvantage at 1st and 15.
1st and 15, Walters in the shotgun. Black goes in motion. Walters going to take it himself up over the 35 to the 30, into the secondary to the 20, up to the 15, and he is knocked down right there at the 15. And he is slow to get up, but Walters is on his feet. And they are going to mark the ball at the 14-yard line. So that's a 24-yard gain for Dominic Walters.
Right now he's holding his hip, and as he was running, he saw the 2 DBs coming at him at the same time, and it looked like he just chose to fall down, but it looked like he fell down a little awkward. He is definitely sucking wind at this moment. He has played an incredibly difficult first half. He has run a lot of yards.
We are under 4 minutes to go here in the first half as Walters in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Sadowski. He breaks through the line of scrimmage up over the 10 to the 9-yard line. And that's another 5 yards for Skylar Sadowski.
Yep, he ran off right tackle, and after he got a couple yards past the line of scrimmage, he did a little jump over defensive player and then got brought down. But right now, these players are playing with all heart. This is all grit right now.
Absolutely. Both teams are giving it their all in this game.
They're testing each other's mettle.
As we have a 2nd down and 5 at the 9-yard line. As Walters goes up under center for one of the few times today. Black goes in motion. He's going to give it to Black around the left end, and he gains about 3 yards up to the 6-yard line.
Very, very close to the first down. And I love that they have that change of pace where Black just runs north-south, takes on a hard hit. That was a beautiful run. Even though it didn't get a first down, it's put them in a really great position right now. They have 3 or 4 different options that they could use right now in their play calling.
Brings up a 3rd down and 2 at the 6. Walters under center. Sadowski in the backfield. Sadowski gets it up the middle, over the line of scrimmage, and into the end zone for a touchdown. Sadowski
ran it right up the middle, got hit, did a spin move, and then plunged right into the end zone. That was the most passionate drive I've seen this season. Every yard counted.
And with 2:15 to go here in the first half, it looks like the Bison are lining up to go for 2.
And I think
to try to get that extra point back that they missed on their last possession.
Well, I think that's smart. With the wind being the way it is, I think that's a wise decision.
Walter's going to line up in the backfield. Sadowski to his left. Twin receivers to the left. Walters takes the snap. He's going to throw a slant pattern over the middle, and it is incomplete. As he had a man right over the goal line, but it fell incomplete. So with 2:15 to go, we will take a break with Fort Leboeuf leading 12-6.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
And right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of game that takes you from a boy to a man. These gentlemen are testing everything in their heart right now. And the hitting is hard, the play is fast, and it's just a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely. This is high school football at its finest, as we have just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And Cans kicks it deep, and that ball is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And that's where Corry will begin their next drive at the 20-yard line.
Well, and that's the benefit of having Cants. That almost gives the other players a chance to breathe. Every play has been played like it's the last down in the Super Bowl so far. And these guys need breathers where they can get it.
Absolutely. So, Fort Leboeuf has 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go to try to hold on to this 12-6 lead going into halftime. Just a reminder, Corry does get the opening kickoff in the second half.
I think if they continue to get pressure on the quarterback, they're going to do okay. But if they don't, I think these passes are going to be really hard to defend.
Baker in the pistol formation. Handoff up the middle, and he is brought down in the backfield. Carson Stoltz with the tackle in the backfield. I believe that was Canada. Back to the 16-yard line for a loss of 4.
And that was the second big tackle he's had this game.
They're going to mark it at the 17. As Baker's going to try to throw it, and it is caught, but he is knocked down. Hunter Huck makes the tackle right at the 20-yard line. So just back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Hunter Huck has been all over the field today. He's going to need a lot of pasta after this game to get his energy back up. There is not a single step he's taken that hasn't been at full throttle, and he's almost like a shadow on some of these receivers.
And Corry taking their time here, as if the Bison can stop them here, they can get the ball back and have one more shot at it before halftime. As Baker's in the shotgun, he's going to take the snap, roll to the right. Sadowski trailing him. And it is caught, and let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it right over the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress. When he caught it, he got hit in the thigh and bounced backwards. but they're going to give him forward progress, and now Corry just called a timeout. So we will take a break and have a message from our sponsors.
This portion of Fort Leboeuf football on the Sunny 105.7's Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Marsh Real Estate Services, your local full-service realty team serving northwestern PA and southwestern New York with offices in Summit Township, Mill Creek, Harbor Creek, and Corry. Online at marshamarsh.com. Best of luck to the Fort Leboeuf Bison from Marsh Real Estate Services. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
All right, we're back. Corry moving from right to left. Has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. Baker, quick pass over the middle. It's caught. It's tripped up over the 40-yard line.
And that was Vimero. And if he didn't make that tackle, he would have gotten a lot more yardage. Right now, they're focusing on the short passing game, trying to be an extension of the running game. And for the most part, we're stopping them. But it looks like they're getting a little bit of momentum right now.
And is there a flag on the play?
Roughing the passer on the defense.
And that will move the ball 15 further yards.
Well, with only 56 seconds left in
that is a huge
the half, that's the kind of yardage you don't want to give up. And it's been a long time since the Bisons have done something like that. I can understand why you were going after the quarterback that hard, because he's very dangerous. And if you don't go hard, you're not going to stop him. So it was just one of those unfortunate plays.
56 seconds to go here in the first half. That puts the ball at the Fort Leboeuf 45-yard line. And there's a whistle.
And now I think we got an equipment issue with Cook.
And it looks like...
Well, yeah, they pulled a receiver out because of an equipment issue.
Yep. So that will have a substitution, and we're back at it. Baker takes a snap. He's going to throw the ball deep down the left sideline. He's got a man, and it is incomplete by Cretan Facina, the intended receiver. And the ball was a little bit underthrown. Facina came back to try to make the catch, and the ball bounced off his hands.
Yeah, and that was the second time they went deep down the left side, and the receiver essentially just dropped it. It's a behind-the-shoulder catch, and it just looks like it's a little too long getting there, and the nerves set in. But he definitely should have made that catch.
2nd down and 10, 49 seconds to go here in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 45, or 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line. Baker in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap. Back to pass. He throws it to the sidelines. Facina makes the catch and sidesteps a tackler. He is brought down by number 55, Caden Milner, at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, and that was that play. Facina really needed to make in order to rectify those two drops. But that's putting them in a great position with 41 seconds left. They have more than enough time to score. And right now we're going to take a timeout break and hear a message from our sponsor.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford. Online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville. Phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City, and Waterford. Online at napaonline.com.
All right. 41 seconds to go here in the first half as the Fort Leboeuf Bison lead 12-6. But the Corry Beavers are driving, have the ball 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, and right now I think they're looking to score a touchdown. I don't think they want to settle for a field goal.
And Baker takes the snap. He quick pass over to the right, and he makes a man miss. He's trying to make some room up over the 20 to the 15-yard line. And that...
I'm trying to see who that was.
That will be enough for a first down as the clock
The clock is running at 25 seconds. They can still get a first down before they score.
Baker in an empty backfield. 1st and 10 at the 15. Baker back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run to the sidelines, and he's tackled out of bounds. And they throw a flag.
I don't like that call at all. They hit him in the field, and as he made the tackle, he just rolled with the quarterback. I don't like that call at all, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't see that, but that will stop the
conferencing.
Clock. That will stop the clock and move the ball half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, it wasn't even an egregious hit. It was an easy tackle, and the quarterback was on top of him when he came down. He wasn't even landed on.
I think they said he hit him too far out of bounds or continued to hit out of bounds, but either way, 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. 1st and goal at the 7. Time for maybe 2 more plays. Baker's in the shotgun. Ball at the 7-yard line, 10 seconds to go. Baker's going to take the snap. Straight drop back, and the ball batted down over the middle by...
I'm not sure who got it.
Stoltz? Somebody up front got his hand on that ball, so that will bring up 2nd down and goal at the 7.
With 6 seconds left. So this might be the final play. They might be able to squeak 2 more plays in.
This should be the last play.
If Fort Leboeuf can do a stand here, this is going to be huge because Corry gets the ball back after halftime.
Absolutely. And Corry is not bringing their field goal kicker out. They are going to go for it to try to score here on the last play of the second quarter. Baker in the backfield all by himself. Baker takes a snap, and the whistles blow, and it looks like...
Wasn't a delay of game. There was 1 second left on the play clock.
Fort Leboeuf called a timeout. So we will leave it right here, as there's only 6 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And big play of the game right here, possibly the biggest play of the game, as with only 6 seconds to go here in the second quarter. If Corry is not able to score here, they do get the ball back at the beginning of the second half, but this is a big defensive stand for the Bison.
Yeah, right now you're going to need to see some great individual play to stop them from scoring because they're just moving too easily right now. We're being a little bit of reactive and not setting the tone, and right now you need a player to step up and maybe have his best play of the season.
And on that last play, he had a man in the end zone. And the
wide open.
And that ball was knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, the receiver was jumping up and down, frustrated that the ball didn't get to him. He was wide open.
2nd down goal at the 7. 6 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Baker sends a man out in the motion. Baker takes the snap. Under pressure, throws it in the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown right over the goal line.
And they went right back to the play they had before. They threw it right across the middle. He was only about a foot into the end zone, and it was perfect, right on the numbers. There wasn't much the defender could do about that.
Yep. And that was Albers with the catch, and that will tie the game up at 12, as it looks like Corry may be going for a 2-point conversion here, and they are. So with a 12-12 score, Baker in the shotgun to try to take a 14-12 lead. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and he is swarmed under by Skylar Sadowski, who gets the sack, and that will be an unsuccessful 2-point conversion for the Beavers, and that will keep the score at 12-12. And with just 2 seconds to go here in the first half, we will take another short break.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Sort of the scenario that you want.
So with just 2 seconds to go here in the half, I wouldn't expect Corry to give Fort Leboeuf a chance to return this.
Well, and right now the defense, I think, after a couple of those penalties, I'm wondering how they're going to respond to that in the second half, because I think they're a little bit scared to hit the quarterback and come up full speed.
And here's a little kick to the up back, and it's caught at the right by the up back, and the clock runs out in the first half. So that will do it here at the end of the first half. And we have, looks like they might put a second back on.
Yeah, I was going to say, when he hit the ground, there was a second left.
Yeah, he caught the ball and went immediately down. So
yeah,
it looks like the Bison are going to have one play here from their own 47-yard line. So
yeah, what do you do here? Do you roll the dice? Do you take a chance at a turnover and them scoring again, or do you play it safe and just take a knee?
I take a shot. Walters has the arm. He can get the ball downfield, and any interception isn't going to be returned for a touchdown.
They're coming out in a shotgun, 5 wide,
yep.
3 on the right, 2 on the left.
So I would take a shot deep.
Timeout, Corry.
And honestly, you know, with if they could even get like a pass interference call with their kicker's leg, you know, they're not that far out of field goal range. So
well, if they go 5 wide, somebody's going to have one-on-one coverage, and so they're going to be able to find somebody that they can take a chance with. And you're right, the defenders, they're going to be nervous. They don't want to be the one who gives up a touchdown with only 1 second left in the half.
Absolutely.
So there is an opportunity for them to make a mistake.
And you know, Kantz has already kicked 2 47-yard field goals this year. So, you know, what's to say he couldn't do it again? And
although we did have a hard time with the snap on the extra point.
Absolutely.
So,
but you know, Fort Leboeuf has enough good athletes. You know, you just throw the ball up deep, and anything can happen.
I would have to think Vimero's going to get double covered with one of the safeties. So I think you're probably going to look for Blos or Black.
Yep, or even Sadowski.
Yeah.
As they come back out into the huddle. First down at their own 47-yard line, 53 yards away from the end zone with 1 second to go.
And all the DBs are a good 12 yards, 11 yards off the line of scrimmage.
And there's a man in motion. Walter's going to throw it short, and it's caught by Vimaro. He's up over the 40 to the 36-yard line, but that is where the first half will come to a close as the Bison and the Beavers are tied 12-12, and it looks like we're in for another classic playoff game between these two teams.
Well, right now, this game could go any direction, and I really think it's going to come down to 2 things: the coach adjustments at halftime and our ability to not get penalties like we did, because we essentially gave them those 6 points. With hitting the quarterback out of bounds, although I think that was an arguable call.
And they really haven't had too many personal foul-type penalties this year. So, you know, those 2 penalties on that last drive were kind of uncharacteristic for them. Whether they were or weren't legitimate penalties, they still got called, you know, and they haven't been putting themselves in that position all year even to get those plays called, you know.
Right.
So,
Well, right now we're going to take a little break at halftime, and we will be back with our Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show.
Thanks for tuning in to today's broadcast of Fort Leboeuf Bison football on the sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. The Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show is coming up shortly. Please stand by. Be sure to join us all season at sunny1057fm.org.
Additional support comes from Brozell Construction, Family Inc. Innovations, Leboeuf Creek Cattle, Waterford Beverage, Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill, High-T Fence Systems, O'Brien Transmission, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Jim Brozell Construction, Wise Physical Therapy, and Al's Appliance Sales and Service.
Rich is just a really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich? No. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
If you're a business operator, there's one thing you want, and that would be for everyone to hear about your business. Maybe you're a new business, or you've moved to a new location, or maybe you have a new product, or you just want to be top of mind in your community. Sunny 105.7 has an active adult audience that wants to hear your message. You can reach our audience with our affordable advertising and underwriting programs tailored for your needs. Did you know that only half of the U.S. population is active on social media? But radio still reaches over 90% of all Americans every week, more than any other medium. Put the power of radio to work for your business. Get your message to the people that need to hear it on Sunny 105.7. Email canadotaradio@gmail.com or phone 814-732-0759 for more information. That's canadotaradio@gmail.com, phone 814-732-0759. Put the power of radio to work for your business.
Funding for this broadcast on the sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by the Fort Leboeuf Football Boosters, supporting the Thundering Herd since the 1980s. We thank the Fort Leboeuf Football Boosters for their support.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Thanks for tuning in to today's broadcast of Fort Leboeuf Bison football on the sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. The Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show is coming up shortly. Please stand by. Be sure to join us all season at sunny1057fm.org.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place and instead of what you came for, you found a phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And now it's time for the Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream. Be sure to join us for all of the action of Fort Leboeuf Bison football all season long at sunny1057fm.org. Now let's go back to the booth and rejoin our announcers for all of the action.
Hello, everyone. This is Ben Brozich along with Doug Gilghrist for our Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show. Doug, what do you have?
So let's before we get into the recap of the first half, let's go over some of the other scores in the District 10 3A playoffs. We've got Hickory leading Girard 40-0, and that's not even at halftime yet. So it looks like the winner of this game is going to have Hickory in the next round. And Sharon is all over Conneaut 38-0. And another close one like our game, we have Northeast, who's the number 6 seed, is defeating Grove City 12-7 at halftime. So we may have our first upset of the first round in that Grove City Northeast game. So we'll see how that turns out. But like I said, the winner of this game will have Hickory in the next round. So assuming that Hickory can hold on to their 40-point lead.
That's probable.
So as we're getting ready for the second half here, just a few stats that we have here in the first half. Dominic Walters was the leading rusher in the game for both teams, as he gained 82 yards on the ground. Now, Skylar Sadowski, he missed a little bit with a little bit of an injury. Sadowski was out to 48 yards. He's really only had one breakaway run in this first half. But yeah, Walters has been the big workhorse for the Bison so far.
And that's concerning because he plays defensive back as well as quarterback. And when you run as much as he has and take the hits that he has this game with the intensity that the defense of Corry is playing with, how long can he sustain that? Can he carry us through the full game?
Absolutely. And you're right, especially with Corry throwing the ball as much as they have been in this game. So you need all the healthy and rested bodies back there as you can. On the other side of the ball, Dion Canaday leads the Beavers with 55 yards rushing. But yeah, the Beavers have missed a few semi-wide open receivers in this game that could have changed the complexion of the game so far in this game. So we'll see if that continues in the second half. But he hasn't been as accurate as he has been in the past.
No, he hasn't, and he's had several passes that were too far in front of the receiver, over the receiver's head. But then also, Frazina has also dropped a few passes. They could have put them one. They still scored on that drive, but there was one earlier in the game that could have given them more points. And in a lot of ways, I think Fort Leboeuf is lucky that Corry doesn't have more points up on the board with all the turnovers that they have had. They came out passionately to play, but I think they were trying to play outside of themselves, which is very typical when you go into the playoffs. And I think it led to uncharacteristic plays with those turnovers.
And on the other end of that spectrum, Corry might be fortunate that Fort Leboeuf doesn't have more points because they fumbled the ball twice inside Corry territory.
That's true.
So if the Bison hold on to those balls there and are able to punch the ball in, it could be a whole different game here in the first half. But, both teams have made mistakes. Both teams have played well at times. It's we're in for a good second half.
Yeah.
Last year's game between these two teams ended 9-6. This game's 12-12 at halftime. So we're in for another down to the wire game, I have a feeling.
Yeah. Now my biggest concern right now is how are the Bisons gonna respond to having that hit out of bounds, because as they continued that drive and that penalty helped carry that last drive all the way through to a score, I noticed that when they were blitzing the quarterback, they pulled up just a little bit. And if that gives Baker a little bit more confidence, knowing that they're not going to hit him as early or as quick as they can, and they're going to hesitate a little bit, I feel like that's going to give him more confidence to sit in the pocket and really zing that ball in like he did at the end of the last drive.
Yeah, but, as a football player, you can't worry about what's happened before. You know, they have to just keep on that intensity. You know, you saw with that last 2-point conversion with Sadowski, you know, he just was shot out of a cannon as he was able to sack Baker for the on the 2-point conversion. So, you know, I think as long as they just keep playing their game, you know, penalties are going to happen, you know, and you can't be worried about the referees calling it. Now, I don't know if the refs are calling it tighter because it's a playoff game or what, but, you know, you can't be worried about that.
I agree with that. You have to let those things go and keep playing your game. And just right now, the 12-12, I'm just curious if this is a lot like some of Fort Leboeuf's games where we score a lot of points at one half and then we score 0 points the next half. Is this going to be something where we come out in the second half and light it up, or are we going to struggle to get the yards like we did in the first half?
Yeah, I don't expect too much difference here. You know, these two teams have played each other so much over the years, and, you know, just in the last calendar year, this is the third game between these two teams. These two teams know each other so well. You know, there's not going to be any surprises in the second half, I don't think. And, you know, it's going to come down to maybe one fluke play here or there, you know, a turnover here or there. And, you know, I think it's going to come right down to the wire, just like last year's game did.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Unless there's a couple fluke plays that get a gap, they're almost perfectly equal right now and how they're approaching the game. And the one thing I noticed with Corry is their passing game is really opening up their running game. And the running back is seeming to be more consistent than last time we played. So I'm interested in seeing if that continues as the game goes on. If the wind increases, which might be the reason why Baker had some of those missed throws, that could also come to the Bison advantage if they're able to turn some of those into interceptions. As of right now, they really haven't had an opportunity to do that. But if that wind continues, that's really going to be to their advantage.
Absolutely. And the rain has held off so far tonight, so, you know, that hasn't been a factor in this game. It's a little bit cooler, but, you know, good football weather.
And right now, Corey's coming out for the kickoff. The Bisons are lining up, and Corry will receive the kick, opening up the second half. And if they're able to score again just after halftime, that's going to give them a lot of momentum.
Lucas Cans, who was talking strategy over on the sideline as he gets his.
And we'll see if Cans tries to kick this ball into the end zone. Now, the one kickoff that he did have fell short of the end zone, and they were able to tackle him inside the 20-yard line, so that might be another tactic as well if they can get a deep enough kick not to go into the end zone. You know, they've been pretty good on kick coverage.
So right to left, south to north here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
So Lucas Cans getting it teed off, kicking the ball right to left, as Corry is going to be going left to right here in the third quarter. And the second half of this playoff game is underway, and it's a little squib kick up and fielded by Corry at the 36-yard line.
It almost looked like that they wanted that to be an onside kick.
Yeah, it was a combination between a squib kick and an onside kick, but it went too far. It went for an onside kick. It went past the first line of defense and was fielded easily by Corry at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's reminiscent all the way back to, I believe it was 1995, 1996, when Bill Cowher tried to do that against the Cowboys, and they were able to get it, but they just didn't get the bounce.
So the Corry Beavers take over at 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Baker takes a snap. He hands the ball up the middle, and he gets not very much. It's Dion Canaday up the middle to the 38-yard line. They're going to mark it for just a gain of 3.
And Ethan Horn, man, when he grabs onto a running back, they're not going anywhere. That was an incredible bear hug, and he just fell backwards and brought the running back down with him.
Unfortunately, he fell the wrong way, and he gained a couple yards on that. But 2nd down and 7. Baker back to pass. He's going to throw it to the left sidelines, and it's caught. It's a nice toe tap there by Blake Cook, and he makes the catch at the 44-yard line.
And right now, Baker is throwing before the receivers are even getting out of their break. They're not even in their cut yet, and the timing is perfect. And I'm really not sure what these defensive backs are going to be able to do to stop this. The communication and the rapport he has with his receivers right now is really spot on.
Third down and a long one here at the 44, just outside the 44-yard line. Baker in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion, going to hand it off up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage, and falls forward for a short gain, but it's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, and right now with the passing game working the way that it is, they can't stack the line to stop the run, even on third and short, or they run the risk of being burned deep. So right now Corry is really setting the tone, and they're not doing the hurry-up offense like they did in the first half, so it looks like they're going to be content with grinding the clock. I feel they are probably sensing that they're pretty confident that they can move the ball down the field.
First down and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Moving left to right, Corry with 10 minutes to go in here in the third quarter. Baker takes the snap. He's going to look deep down the right sidelines, and that ball is overthrown. As good coverage there by number 5, Xavier Blos of the Fort Leboeuf Bison.
Yeah, it was overthrown, and it was near the sideline, and it was about 3 or 4 yards away from the defensive back and the receiver, and that might have been the wind, because usually Baker is spot on, and he didn't really feel a lot of pressure in the pocket, so I think the wind helped us out there.
Yep, and the receiver didn't see it quick enough to make an adjustment to try to go inside to make that reception. Sets up second down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Baker in the pistol formation takes the snap. He's going to swing it out to the right side, and it is caught by Connor Sterling, and he's knocked out of bounds after a short gain, maybe a yard on that one.
Yep. Yeah, and right now I think because of the wind, the deep pass, you're kind of rolling the dice with that, as we talked about at halftime, looking for interceptions on those deep throws. So they're just going to seem satisfied with a short passing game, make it an extension of the running game, and just make sure they get those linebackers and linemen to have to spread out a little bit so running up the middle is a little bit more efficient.
Third down and 9, Corry at their own 47-yard line. Tie score 12-12. Baker waiting for the snap. He's going to take the snap, and the play is blown dead right at the outset, and that is going to move it back 5 yards. As a false start for Corry, moves it back to 3rd and 14.
Yeah, huge advantage for the Bison. That's going to make it really hard for them to move the ball down the field. As long as they keep continuing to play the defense they're playing so far this half, this should really help them out.
Yeah, if they can stay away from a penalty on this play, they can get the ball back here. Third down and 14 at the 42-yard line. Baker in an empty backfield. 2 receivers to the left. He takes the snap. He's looking deep. He throws it towards the sidelines. A little bit of contact, and they throw the flag.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry.
That
was not a catchable pass. And he barely bumped him. He bumped him.
And he hit him after the ball was already past him.
Yeah, that was not a good call, in my opinion.
That ball was overthrown. The ball hit the ground. There was some contact, and it was Hunter Huck for Fort Leboeuf.
Yeah.
And the referees are discussing it, but let's see what they're going to
Oh, looks like they're picking up. Oh, no.
And they are going to pick up the flag.
Picking it up, thank goodness.
That is the correct call.
I really respect that. I respect that a great deal, that they were willing to say, okay, maybe that wasn't catchable.
Yep, and
right now,
like I said, he made contact with him after the ball was already past him. So
okay, as they get their punt team out, I just want to say something before I forget. It looks like they're making an adjustment after halftime. They are putting a guy out into the flat to pull Sadowski off from blitzing the quarterback. So they must have realized that he was the one getting the pressure on the QB, and now they're putting him in pass coverage, which is basically neutralizing his speed.
Definitely. Corry back to punt. To the high snap. That ball is blocked. It's picked up by Sadowski at the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Skylar Sadowski.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, he made it through that line so fast.
He broke in there. He was untouched.
I can't even believe he tried to kick it. He literally took it off the foot of the kicker. Yeah, I don't even think the ball had a chance to come off the kicker's foot.
Sadowski almost caught that punt off the foot of the punter. He was in there that fast.
That was unbelievable. So they tried to neutralize him as a blitzing linebacker by putting him in pass coverage, and he says, okay, I'm just going to take this punt and run it in for a touchdown. You guys are stopping me running. You're stopping me on defense. I'll just have to do it on special teams.
And Sadowski got the block and the recovery as he gets about a 30-yard return as they are going to line up for the extra point. And Lucas Kantz in there. Walters with the hold. That kick is up, and it is good.
Well, I'll tell you what. You don't want that one player that carries your team. You want a team game. But I will say, every now and then, it is nice to see your star do what stars do.
Absolutely. So with 9:40 to go here in the third quarter, the Fort Leboeuf Bison lead 19-12, and we will take a break for a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Okay, and we are back after a fantastic play by Sadowski, blocking a punt and returning it for a touchdown to make it 19-12.
I'm out of breath after that one, Ben.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Fort Leboeuf moves to the next round, you want to go to that game. This is great football. And another squib kick.
And the ball was knocked down and fielded at the 33-yard line by Corry. And it is clear they don't want any big plays from Corry's special teams. They feel like they have the defense to stop them and keep them in the game, so they are not going to let Corry beat them with a big return, as this ball is going to be marked at the 34-yard line.
Well, and we've seen that strategy all season with different teams, and it's apparently working here in the second half, so hopefully Baker will have the wind against him, and the wind will be our 12th men again on this drive.
And Baker in the pistol formation sends a man in motion, hands the ball off up the middle, and he's dragged down after a short gain, about a 4-yard gain for Kennedy up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it was almost a 3-yard gain, but that's because of the passing game is opening up. They're not able to just absolutely jump off the ball and go after the running back because they got to make sure that they're not going to get a passing game. But those little chunk yards definitely put them in a good position by the third down.
Second down and 7 here at the 37. Corry Beavers at their own 37-yard line. Under 9 to go here in the third quarter as Baker takes a snap. There's a handoff, and he is dragged down in the backfield.
Yeah, Brady Black just spun him down by the hips, and he might have even lost half a yard on that play.
That was Connor Sterling with the carry for a loss of a yard, and the Fort Leboeuf defense has come out to play here in the second half.
Yeah, now on the last drive, they dropped back into zone coverage on third down, so I'm curious to see if that is the same approach on this down.
Third down and 8. Baker takes the snap, back to pass. He throws it short. It's got up over the fumble, and it is recovered by Fort Leboeuf.
And number 70, Ethan Horn.
Recovery. That ball That would not have been enough for a first down.
Okay, Ethan looks like he's laying down there, and they're going to come out and check him out. It looks like there might be an injury.
There will be a timeout on the field, but Fort Leboeuf has recovered the fumble, and they will take over the ball at the Corry 37-yard line, and we will take a short break while they attend to the injured player.
This portion of Fort Leboeuf football on the Sunny 105.7's Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Marsh Real Estate Services, your local full-service realty team serving northwestern PA and southwestern New York with offices in Summit Township, Mill Creek, Harbor Creek, and Corry. Online at marshamarsh.com. Best of luck to the Fort Leboeuf Bison from Marsh Real Estate Services.
Well, I'm not sure what the coach said at halftime, but it almost looks like they know the plays that Corry is going to run. And Ethan Horn, it looked like he was cramping a little bit. They stretched his leg out. It looks like he might sit for a play, but he seems to be okay.
Fort Leboeuf takes over, 8:07 to go here in the third quarter, takes over at the Corry 37-yard line as their first offensive snap here in the second half will come in Corry territory. Dominic Walters takes the snap. He hands the ball off to Sadowski, trying to weave his way through tacklers, and he will maybe lose a yard as that ball will be marked back at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like our offensive line just wasn't able to get off the ball quick enough, and Corry's defensive line just overwhelmed us as soon as we handed the ball off. He was able to make a couple moves to get closer to the line of scrimmage, but nothing positive.
Four receivers in the formation. Walters takes the snap. He's going to take it himself up the middle, and he gets about 3 yards up to the 36-yard line. So that will set up a third down and long.
Yeah, and right now the offense looks tired. They look like they're moving very slow. I'm not sure what they're going to do to correct that, but I was afraid of that in the first half. For the energy they were giving in the first half, you knew they could only do that for so long. And it actually looks like Corry's kind of feeling the same way.
Absolutely. Both teams played hard in that first half as we're under 7 to go here in the third quarter. 19-12 Fort Leboeuf leads, 3rd and 9. Walters fakes the handoff. He's going to try a quarterback draw up the middle. He gets up to the 34-yard line. But it looks like they're setting up to go for it on 4th down. So
yeah, it does.
They're just wanted to get a few yards to get a more makeable 4th down situation.
Well, and with this wind, I don't know if they're going to send Kantz out for a long field goal. I don't know that that's practical at this moment in the game.
This would be a 51-yarder, so you're not going to try it from that long anyway. But that sets up a 4th down and 7 at the 34. Walters in the shotgun. Blows goes in motion, takes the snap, drops back, throws it deep. He has Vamaro, and there's a flag on the play. That ball fell incomplete on the left sideline, but it looks like there's going to be interference. Let's see which way they call it. It may be they call defensive holding.
Defensive holding, yeah.
It doesn't even matter if it was a catchable ball because the flag was thrown before the ball was in the air.
Yeah, well, I think it might have been catchable if he was able to get closer to the sideline. It would have been a spectacular catch. But, yeah, the holding's what did it. But I'm also noticing that a lot of players are stretching after each play now. They might be cramping up. These folks are exhausted out here, and they're playing with just plain grit at this point.
And that moves the ball up to the 29-yard line, but defensive holding is an automatic first down, so that would not have been enough for a first down normally, but the automatic first down gives them a new set of downs with 6:04 to go here in the third quarter. First down and 10 at the 29. Let's see if the Bison can get their running game going again. Sadowski as a sidecar to Walters' right. Hands the ball off to Sadowski around the left end. Makes a jump cut at the 20 and up over the 20 to the 16-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 8 yards.
Yeah, I love the adaptability. He went in there very gently, did a little jump. He didn't come in there wanting to take his shoulder down and knock somebody out, but that's exactly what he needed to do, and he was able to get a nice run on that first down.
Second down and 2. As the ball is at the 17-yard line. 2 men in the backfield behind Walters. He's going to hand it to Sadowski up over the 20. Gets a short gain, and they will give him a first down, it looks like.
And as soon as Sadowski got that ball, he should have been hit and tackled. And he skipped to the left so quick, and he made that entire run happen. He's been making the first person miss quite a bit tonight. And in that case, he earned that run completely on his own.
Absolutely. That was a 3-yard gain up to the 14-yard line. First down and 10 at the 14 as the Bison try to extend their 19-12 lead. Sadowski to Walters left. Man in motion. Walters takes the snap. He's going to hand the ball to Blosk, who is the man in motion. And he is. And
a flag. Wow.
Xavier Blosk was wrapped up in the backfield, and they blew the play dead for forward progress, and he was pushed after the whistle was blown. So.
Well, and as much as I wouldn't have thrown the flag on there, they have to be consistent with what they did in the first half with the quarterback when Baker got hit near the sidelines.
Well, I agree with that one because he did push him pretty hard after the play was done, and the whistle had clearly blown on that one. So that will move the ball half the distance to the goal inside the 10-yard line.
And right now, the Bison are achieving what they need to do, not because they have energy, not because they have great skill, but their teamwork, their camaraderie, and like that word I said earlier in pregame, the synergy. Right now, they're greater than all their parts because they are playing tired.
And that sets up a 1st and goal at the 9. And another important aspect, too, is they're running a lot of clock on this drive. The clock at 4.5 minutes as Walters takes the snap up the middle, and he's going to run it up to about the 6-yard line. And that'll be about a gain of 3 for Walters.
And Walters did a great job holding on to the football there. He had 3 or 4 guys near him ripping at that ball. And like I said, he's a great quarterback. He knows what to do and when to do it.
2nd down and goal at the 6-yard line. Bunch of shuffling going on at the line of scrimmage. Lots of time on the play clock. Walters looking to the sidelines for some direction. Sadowski is a sidecar. Boost from, he goes, shifts around, and there's a whistle. A little bit of confusion there.
Yeah, they were going to get a delay of game, and they called a timeout.
Sadowski was moving back and forth. He wasn't sure where he was supposed to be. So, good timeout there, and we will take a break with 3:46 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
All right, we're back here. 2nd down and goal at the 6-yard line for the Bison. Dominic Walters in the shotgun. Brady Black goes in motion. Walters tries to go up the middle, gets up over the 5-yard line to about the 4. So that's going to give him about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and right now Corry is stacking the center of the line. They're playing the run almost completely, leaving one-on-one coverage to wide receivers. It'll be interesting to see if the Bison try to take advantage of that with a slant or a fade to the corner of the end zone.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think a play-action pass right here would do wonders right here as they're down third down and goal at the 4.
Back to the wing T look. Close on the left wing, Black on the right wing, Sadowski
Walters under center. He takes the snap. He's going to try up the middle. He's dragging players, and he's into the end zone.
There's a flag. There's a flag.
For a touchdown temporarily.
They almost ran that like a tush push, except he just ran over to the right tackle.
Walters got into the end zone, but there is a flag. Let's see what they're going to call.
Now we'll decipher the flag.
And the sideline's had it as 4th down, but I had it as 3rd down, so I think that it was a 3rd down play.
Well, with everybody clustered together, pushing on each other, this could be anything.
And here's the referee's call.
Sideline warning against the Bison.
A sideline warning against the Bison.
So
the touchdown looks like it's going to stand.
They're going to.
It's just the warning.
Let's see what they call here.
And here comes the extra point unit.
Okay, they did give him the touchdown.
They do count the touchdown, so the penalty was after the play. So that will make it 25-12 as Dominic Walters gets into the end zone.
So now they're going to kick the extra point from about the the line of scrimmage is about the 6-yard line.
Or is this a field goal? This might be a field goal. They might not account. No, they didn't count the touchdown. This is a field goal attempt as Cant's kick is up and good. So that was a field goal attempt.
Oh, my.
They counted there was a 5-yard penalty on Fort Leboeuf. So no touchdown, but the Bison do extend their lead to 22-12. And that was 4th down there. But kind of a weird sequence of events there as
really curious.
The penalty happened.
I'm curious when the infraction occurred. Did it occur as the play was going on or after the play? And it was sideline interference. Was that somebody coming on an extra? I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, because unless they ruled that he didn't get into the end zone, that should have still been a 3rd down play. So if they ruled that he didn't get into the end zone, that.
Yeah, I wish unfortunately we don't have the technology for the referees to be able to tell us what's happened and why they did what they did, like we do in college and in the NFL. But that's very interesting. I'm really curious why that was called.
So, but either way, as
left to go here in the 3rd quarter, that's going to be talked about for some time.
Well, the scoreboard now has the 26-12. So was that an extra point or was it a field goal? I'm not sure.
Okay.
So here's the kickoff, and the ball is squib kicked. It's taken at the 20-yard line, and he is dragged down at the 33-yard line.
And there was a flag thrown. I'm going to guess it's holding from what I saw, but yeah, that looks like a touchdown now, 26-12. That had to be a touchdown.
So.
Okay.
So we believe now that may have been a touchdown.
And the extra point was just 5-yard penalty.
And we have the penalty on the kickoff that's going to move the ball back. It's on Corry. So I apologize for that confusion, but
on the scoreboard they didn't make the change on the scoreboard, so it was hard for us to tell.
Well, the referees. Originally, they marked it as 22, meaning a field goal, and the referees don't have a microphone to explain what was going on, and he didn't signal touchdown after he listed the penalty. So,
all right, well, we're going to have to move on to the next play.
But we think it's 26-12 Fort Leboeuf as they take a 2-touchdown lead. Baker takes the snap, and that ball is run up the middle to about the 19-yard line. That drive started at the 13. So it's a 5-yard gain.
So what the Bison really want to do at this point is get refocused, and hopefully they're not as distracted as we are by that call. And really, if they can stop them on this drive, that's going to give them a tremendous amount of momentum going into the 4th quarter. Although that first run looks like Corey's ready to take on this drive.
Baker takes the snap, slant pattern over the middle, and it is incomplete to Keaton Frasina as that ball is thrown low.
Yeah, Brady Black got in there just enough to make him change his arm angle and give slightly different pass where it was a little low. So even though he didn't hit anybody, Brady Black was definitely the reason that ball was incomplete in the backfield, putting pressure on the quarterback.
So just to reset a little bit, now they have the scoreboard back at 22. So we will try to get some confirmation in between quarters. But but what we do know is it's 3rd down and 5 at the 18-yard line. Corry takes the snap. He throws the ball in the flat, and that ball is incomplete.
And right now, let's see, who was that? Black? Was that Black putting the – yeah, oh, no, Xavier Blos was putting the pressure on the quarterback on that play. And right now they're not hitting the quarterback, but they're getting into his passing lane. And so when he goes to throw, he has to throw a little low, a little to the left, a little to the right. They're really disrupting him, even though they're not able to get the sack.
And that brings up a 4th down and 5 at the 18. And what we do know is the Bison are up by 2 scores. The scoreboard says 22-12. And the Bison are the Beavers are gonna punt this ball away. Ball was gonna bounce at the 40. It's gonna be picked up by Blos at the 48, and he's run out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a really bad punt. It went to the far side of the field. The punt was on the far right hash mark, and they punted it towards the far left hash mark, and it was a line drive. They were able to pick it up off the bounce, and now they're close to the 32-yard line in Corry's side of the field. And they're very much in a position where they might be able to make this a 3-score lead.
And they will mark the ball at the 32-yard line. So excellent field position here for the Bison.
And so for everybody at home, it is 22-12. That's the score we're playing with, just in case you can't see it on the screen.
1:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Walters in the shotgun, takes the snap. Hands the ball off to Black as he fights up over the 30-yard line, and he's knocked down at the 28 for about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Black just was looking for contact on that one. He just wanted to hit somebody, and that was a really good run. It took several players to bring him down off the left tackle, and they're not huddling. It looks like they're doing a kind of a slow hurry-up.
Yep, and we'll call it a 5-yard gain. They mark it at the 27-yard line. As they're going no huddle, not really hurry up, as they're not letting Corry substitute on defense, as Sadowski's in the backfield with Walters. Walters takes the snap, hand off to Sadowski, who hands it to Black for a reverse, and he's going to get the 1st down up close to the 20-yard line, and that will be a Fort Leboeuf 1st down to about the 21-yard line. Well, it looks like Black is that Black?
Yeah, he's taking a minute.
He's down on the field.
Yeah, he's hurt, and he tried to get up a couple times, and he decided to stay down. So we'll take a breather and get a word from our sponsors.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City, and Waterford, online at napaonline.com.
No communication.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, all right, we are back here, and Black was able to get up off the field under his own power.
Yeah, and right now these players are just plain exhausted.
Yeah, they're gassed. As the clock is running under 45 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. 1st down and 10 at the 22-yard line. There's a handoff to Strushin, and he's going to take it up over the 15 to the 13-yard line, as he is awful close to another 1st down.
I'm going to tell you, Strushin is my favorite player on this team. Whenever he needs his number called, he shows up. That was a beautiful run up the middle. He powered through several tacklers to get very close to a 1st down. We're a sneeze away from getting a 1st down and putting ourselves in another great position to score.
And that will do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. So the Fort Leboeuf Bison lead 22-12 at the end of 3, and we will take a break.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Jim Brozell Construction at 9298 Peach Street in Waterford. Phone 814-866-2075. Wise Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Waterford. Online at wisept.com. Al's Appliance Sales and Service at 110 High Street in Waterford. Phone 814-796-4007. This portion of Fort Leboeuf football on the Sunny 105.7's Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Marsh Real Estate Services, your local full-service realty team serving northwestern PA and southwestern New York with offices in Summit Township, Mill Creek, Harbor Creek, and Corry. Online at marshamarsh.com. Best of luck to the Fort Leboeuf Bison from Marsh Real Estate Services.
After they score.
Okay.
So we're back here. 3rd down and 1 at the 13-yard line for the Bison. Or I take that back, 2nd down and 1 at the 13-yard line as the Bison try to increase their 22-12 lead. Dominic Walters in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, hands it to Sadowski, who's tripped up at the line of scrimmage, and he falls forward over the 10-yard line to the 9.
Yeah,
and that will be another 1st down.
Sadowski's quickness is coming into play tonight so well. His ability to move left and right and then get his momentum going incredibly quick forward is really what's keeping a lot of these drives going. He is playing an amazing game because this core defense is really challenging him on almost every run.
1st and goal now for the Fort Leboeuf Bison at the 9-yard line. Strushin to Walters' right, Sadowski to the left. It's given to Strushin up over the 5-yard line to the 3 as he fights his way close to the goal line, and we'll give him 6 yards on that gain.
Yeah, they're so keyed up on Sadowski. The Strushin is getting one-on-one competition against the linebackers, and he's winning them almost every time.
And they're going quick here. Hurry up offense. Walters in the shotgun. He's going to hand it to Strushin again up the middle. Fights close to the goal line, and he's going to get down to about the 1.5-yard line as we'll give him a gain of 1.
I agree with that play. It was almost the same exact play, and they're going back to a hurry-up offense.
3rd and goal at the 2. Walters, same formation. Strushin to his right. He's going to give it to Sadowski this time. Up the middle. Touchdown! Skylar Sadowski gets into the end zone once again.
And that was a beautiful job by the offensive coordinator for changing up who was going to get that ball and run it down the field for that entire drive. You know, you think, oh, run the ball, right? But they have so many different guys. They did the reverse, okay? They handed it to the fullback a few times, and Corry just didn't have an answer for any of it.
And this extra point here is huge, as this will make it a 3-possession game if he was able to make it. The spot is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And that gives the Bison a 29-12 lead, a 17-point cushion here with 10 minutes and 33 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. And we will step aside for a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Right now I'm seeing our American flag blowing left to right quite vigorously. So while we did change the direction in which Baker is going to be passing, I still feel like that wind is going to have a significant impact on his ability to push the ball down the field. So we're probably going to see a lot of short passes and short runs. But with 10:33 left in the fourth quarter, is that going to give them enough time to come up 3 scores?
Absolutely. Here's the kickoff. It's taken at the 1 yard line, up over to the 20 to the 25, and brought down right over the 25-yard line.
And that was an amazing hit by Brady Black. He hit him right on the shoulder, and he sent a message. We have the energy to finish this game. That was a great, great special teams tackle.
And that will set the ball up at the 28-yard line for Corry. And this game kind of the opposite of the first meeting this year between these two teams, where Fort Leboeuf was up 31-0 at halftime. And then they didn't score in the second half. Now, they did score 12 points in the first half, but they scored 17 points in the first quarter plus a minute here in the second half here. So the Bison have dominated the second half. As Baker in the shotgun, he's going to take the snap. Short pass up, and it is caught and hit immediately by Vamaro. Vamaro makes the tackle right at the 30-yard line for just a short 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that wasn't quite a screen pass to the wide receiver in the flat, but it almost was. He just did a quick little 1-yard turnaround, and you had another receiver ready to block, but he wasn't able to get the pass and turn upfield quick enough.
That sets up a 2nd down and 8 for Corry at the 30-yard line. Corry moving right to left. Baker takes the snap. He's going to air it out to the sidelines. It's caught and hit immediately at the 35-yard line for another short gain, about a 5-yard gain for Keaton Frasina.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Corry has to do. They have to go with the short passes because of the wind. They don't really have time to go with a running game, although I'm sure they'll try to get a run in here or there. But I just don't think they're going to have enough time to come back 3 scores passing it short. They're going to have to take the risk of throwing it deep at some point.
And Fort Leboeuf knows that, so they're just sitting back and letting them catch it and making the tackle afterwards. 3rd down and 2. Takes the handoff.
Oh, there's a penalty on that one.
Canada got hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he got a definite face mask call as his head got turned way around.
Yeah, and I think initially it wasn't a face mask. I think initially the hand came from behind the helmet, and then as he went to twist away, the hand slid to the face mask. But that was really, I don't think it was intentional, but that was one of the most aggressive face masks I've seen in a long, long time. That he's walking off the field. It looks like he's going to have to take a breather, and I hope he's okay.
Yep, but he was stopped right around the line to gain, but the 15 yards will definitely give them a 1st down as that moves the ball to the Fort Leboeuf side of the field, and that will be marked at the 49-yard line.
Well, and that's the one thing. Like I said, I don't think that was intentional, but that's the one thing that's going to put Corry back into this is if we give them big chunk penalties like that.
Under 9 minutes to go here in the ball game. Baker in an empty backfield takes the snap. He's going to throw it deep down the right sideline, and it is intercepted by Xavier Blows at the 20-yard line. And he is dropped at the 18.
Yeah, Baker had a clean pocket. When he threw the ball, it came out as a tight spiral. When it reached about the peak of its arc, you saw the wind take it out of its spiral, and it just tumbled down right into the hands of Xavier Blows. And as soon as he made the tackle, he fell down. And now we have the Corry receiver that the ball was intended to.
That's Blake Cook.
Blake Cook, number 3. It looks like he might have twisted an ankle or hurt his leg to some extent. And so we will take a moment and hear a message from our sponsor.
This portion of Fort Leboeuf football on the Sunny 105.7's Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Marsh Real Estate Services, your local full-service realty team serving northwestern PA and southwestern New York with offices in Summit Township, Mill Creek, Harbor Creek, and Corry. Online at marshamarsh.com. Best of luck to the Fort Leboeuf Bison from Marsh Real Estate Services. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Jim Brozell Construction at 9298 Peach Street in Waterford. Phone 814-866-2075. Wise Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Waterford. Online at wisept.com. Al's Appliance Sales and Service at 110 High Street in Waterford. Phone 814-796-4007.
Well, and that interception is exactly what we were talking about at halftime, where the Bison's going to be able to get a turnover. Was the wind going to affect Corry's passing game? If this is a calm day, without this wind, this game could easily turn very differently. But the wind has been the 12th man on defense for the Bison tonight.
Absolutely. And with 8:41 to go here in the fourth quarter, the Bison are just going to try to run some clock here as Sadowski to Walters' left. And this is where the running game becomes key as Sadowski takes the snap or takes the handoff, and he runs up over the 25, and he's going to be down at the 26-yard line.
And I love that run. He went incredibly slowly, waiting for his blocks to set up, and then he shot through the hole like a rocket. And those guys really had to do a lot to bring him down.
That's a gain of 8 on that play.
And we are at 6 minutes and 14 seconds.
That's actually an 8. But
oh, I'm sorry. An 8.
I know. I don't like this scoreboard. So we're approaching 8 minutes to go here as Strushin is in the backfield with Walters, and he's going to get the carry, and he's hit in the backfield, and he's going to be dropped at the 24-yard line for a loss of 2.
Yeah, and right now I feel like the Bison are just going to play it safe on offense and let their defense finish this game for them, which is incredibly wise. If you see a pass in this drive, I would be really, really surprised.
Yep, 3rd down and 5 at the 24-yard line. The play clock approaching 10 seconds. The game clock approaching 7 minutes. Walters is going to take it himself. He's up over the 35 to the 25 to the 30, and he is tackled at the 32 for another Fort Leboeuf first down.
And you can see the body language of Corry. Hands are on the shoulders, heads are down. You can see they're really trying to get their wind. It's settling in, I think, that this is going to be almost an impossible thing to overcome. But you never know. One player makes one great play, things can change really quick.
And if nothing else, this is going to wind a couple more minutes off the clock as they have another fresh set of downs here as Walters in the pistol formation. He's going to hand it to Sadowski. He weaves his way up over the line of scrimmage to about the 36-yard line for about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful run. He made it. Once again, he keeps making the first tackler miss, and that's how he's getting all of his yards tonight. They are the most hard-earned yards he's had all year.
6 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Fort Leboeuf leading 29-12 as they have pitched a shutout here in the second half. Walters takes the snap, hands the ball off. No, he fakes the handoff, and Walters is going to be corralled back in the backfield for a loss of about 3 on that play, back to about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 9. It's going to be 3rd and 9, and Corry's just teeing up on the run right now. They're going after their 3 running backs, basically Sadowski, Walters, and Strushin, and they're just keying up. If they decided to pass, I'm pretty sure they would have a wide-open receiver somewhere.
Yeah, but as the Bison, the clock is more the enemy of the Bison right now than Corry is. As the clock winds close to 5 minutes to go here in the game. There's some movement up front.
Yeah, false start.
Let's see who moved first, and it is Fort Leboeuf as they're the false start. So that will move the ball back 5 yards.
I think there might have actually been 2 linemen for Fort Leboeuf that jumped early.
So that will move the ball back to about the 29-yard line. But I would be surprised if they would go to the air here. I would just keep the ball on the ground and punt the ball away if you don't get the first down. 3rd down to 14. The clock restarts after marking the ball. So this snap is going to be under 5 minutes to go here in the game. Walters in the shotgun, takes the snap. He throws it and almost intercepted, and that is the type of play that could have gotten Corry back in the ball game.
Yeah, he threw it to
that would have been a pick six without a doubt.
Threw it to the flat. The receiver looked like he ran the wrong route, and the Corry defensive back jumped up, and it just went right above his fingers. If he would have caught that, he would have had a clear walk to the end zone. I don't think Walters would have been able to get to him before he scored.
No. So they dodged a bullet there. So that'll bring up a 4th down and 14 as Lucas Cans lines up in the punt formation. 4:49 to go as Cans kicks it high and deep. And that ball's going to be fielded and muffed. He picks it back up. He's going to run up over the 45, and he is knocked down. That's Keaton Frasina with the return, and he gets up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, and Isaac Hicks for Corry did a block in the back on one of our players, number 23, Bartone. And so that's going to put them even further back.
And, yes, I did not even see the penalty there, so that will move the ball back.
Yep. Bartone had such a clear angle at the receiver who was catching the punt that if he didn't do that block in the back, he would have hit him, and we very well could have gotten that ball. So in that particular case, I think Corry made a smart move with that penalty.
But they will mark off the penalty from the 34-yard line, so that's going to move it back to the 24. And with 4 minutes and 38 seconds to go, the Fort Leboeuf Bison are on the verge of their first playoff win since 2016. And they've made the playoffs every year since 16. So this has been a long playoff drought for the Bison. As Baker takes the snap, he's looking deep. He's swarmed under and sacked by Brady Black. Back to the 18-yard line, a loss of about 6 yards. And the Bison are just teeing off right now.
And that American flag at the end of the end zone I didn't think it could flap any harder in the wind, but it is flapping vigorously. And so it's going to be almost impossible for him to push the ball down the field at this point.
17-point lead for Fort Leboeuf. Short little pass out to the flat, and he is caught and tackled by Sadowski for a loss of 2 on that play. Back to loss of 1. We'll call it back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and right now our linebackers are swarming to these short passes because they know they don't have too much to worry about if they go deep.
3rd down and a half mile here at the 15-yard line of Corry. Clock winding under 3.5 minutes to go here. Baker in an empty formation. Goes back to pass. Can't find anybody. He's got all time in the world to throw it, and the ball is almost intercepted as that ball is knocked away by number 55, Caden Milner.
And he just supermaned across the hash mark towards the 30 painted on the field, and he just got the tips of his fingers on that. I thought it was going to be complete, but he just outright supermaned his way across the field.
And the Corry Beavers, it looks like, are throwing in the white towel as they are going to line up in punt formation as they are down by 17 points. And the Bison aren't taking it for granted that he's going to punt it as they don't have anybody back to receive. Low snap and a short kick as that ball is going to bounce at the 31, take a Fort Leboeuf bounce, and it is down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that punt didn't even make it to the first down marker that they were trying for.
Yep, so that was a 15-yard punt, and that will pretty much put the final nail in the coffin for the Corry Beavers as Fort Leboeuf takes over with 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, leading 29-12.
And right now I have to bring the word up I used at the beginning of the game, synergy. They have played greater than their individual parts. This was probably the greatest game they've played this season under these circumstances.
Walters in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Black, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage, and he goes nowhere. He lost a yard as Corry calls a timeout. But that will be a loss of a yard back to the loss of 2 yards back to the 32-yard line.
And Corry calls a timeout, so we will take a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
And Strushin takes the handoff on the second down play, gets up over the 30, back to the 29-yard line, and Corry calls another timeout as kind of mixed messages Corry's sending. Now, granted, they had a 4th and 18 or whatever, but they punt on 4th down, seemingly giving up, but yet they're calling timeout on the defensive side to try to get the ball back. So,
it's hard to say when you're coaching this kind of situation what they're thinking. You don't know the health of the players that are out onto the field. You're just not sure what scheme they're trying to use at that moment in time. But I agree, it is a little bit of a mixed message. I'm not sure why they would be that inconsistent.
Absolutely, especially with that bad of a punt. They might as well just go for it. If they didn't make it, they would have had the ball about the same part of the field anyway. As we got a 3rd down and 9 here with 3:01 to go. Walters takes the snap. He's going to throw it. Gets some pressure. He throws it out to the end zone and incomplete.
Yeah, and that ball was thrown behind Vimero as he ran a post route, and right as he was near the line or the goal line, it sailed over both his head and the defensive back's head, and that has to be the wind carrying it over to that side of the field.
And we're going to have a long field goal attempt by Lucas Kantz, and why not?
Well, if he's going to kick this, he's got to kick it far right and hope that wind carries it, because if he kicks it straight on, I don't think it's going to make it.
Already has 2 47-yarders this year as the school record. This one from 46 yards out. Walters as the holder. The snap is good. The hold is down. The kick is on its way, and it's going to be short.
Yep.
It did not make it. It had the accuracy, but just did not have the height.
Well, and if you noticed, it wasn't going end over end. It was spinning like you would do with a top,
Absolutely.
So I don't think he caught it kind of fat, and he didn't get it underneath the ball enough. It had plenty of strength. He just didn't catch it in the sweet spot.
And up by 17, you could afford to attempt that. If this was a close game, you might have seen them go for it there in that situation. But the one thing about high school is a missed field goal acts like a missed punt, or acts like a punt. So they get the ball at the 20-yard line. The ball went out of the end zone. So instead of getting the ball at the point of the kick like they do in college and pros, they get the ball at the 20-yard line. So they really don't have any
That's an excellent
negative.
Observation. That's an excellent point to make.
And Baker takes the snap, and he's rushed out of the pocket, and he is tackled right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and Black and Sadowski ran into each other, and I think they hit each other pretty good. Black is getting up. He's looking like he's limping just a little bit coming off the field, so I hope he's okay. But as they went for the running back, they just ran right into each other, and I don't think either one of them saw the other one.
Right, and Black is able to get off the field under his own power, as that sets up a 2nd down and 9 at the 21.
Oh, he has an equipment issue. Something on his helmet broke.
And Baker flushed out of the pocket, and he is going to be sacked, and the ball comes out, and they're going to say the ball was down by contact. but that will go down as a sack as Baker was tackled at the 19-yard line. And we have another official timeout as they unpile everything.
And to go back to Black coming off the field, there's like a little nameplate on the front of their helmet above the face guard, and it looked like that came loose, so he had to come off the field. So we're going to hear another word from our sponsor.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
Backup quarterback Jack Van Carey is in the game for Corry as he's in an empty backfield. He takes the snap. He's looking deep. He can't find anybody. He's going to run it himself up over the 20. He breaks a couple tackles, and he is trying to fight for yardage, and he is stopped short of the 30-yard line. So that will bring up a fourth down at about the 28, fourth and about 2.
Yeah, that looked like a great run, but so many players were playing deep that was really the only option that he had.
A minute 15 to go here in the ball game. Takes the snap. Van Carey throws the ball, and it was knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and that will turn the ball over.
Yeah, Dominic Leach batted it down, number 77.
And that will turn the ball back over to Fort Leboeuf with 1:06 to go, and the Bison are just 2 snaps away from just their second playoff victory since 1990.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
And that's
so hard to believe.
And their first one since 2016.
Well, now they get to go into the greatest formation in football,
absolutely.
The victory formation.
They're in the victory formation. Walters under center. We'll just need to take 2 snaps here as Walters kneels on it, and the players can feel it. You can see the excitement down there on that field as these players have waited for almost a year to get revenge on Corry over that heartbreaking loss last year. As the clock is under 48 seconds to go here.
And this game had a little bit of everything. This might have been the best game I've seen in over a decade, whether you're talking NFL, college, or high school. It had everything.
Walters takes the snap, 37 seconds to go, and that will do it as the Fort Leboeuf Bison outscore the Beavers of Corry 17-0 in the second half to turn a 12-12 game at halftime into a 29-12 victory for the Bison. And Fort Leboeuf will live to fight another day. And as the clock finally ticks down to 1-0, and that will officially do it as the teams are on the field shaking hands. And we will take a break for a word from our sponsor before we start the Corry Federal Credit Union post-game show.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
And welcome to the Corry Federal Credit Union post-game show for the Fort Leboeuf Bison. And what a game it is. And you can hear them screaming out on the field. You can see them cheering. We're going to put the mic out there so we can hear the alma mater. And ladies and gentlemen, you will not find a happier group of high school boys anywhere than what you see right now on this football field. They are so excited. They have broke a curse of, how long did you say? Since 19 when?
No, their last win was 2016, and they've made the playoffs every year since, so that's a 9-game losing streak.
Oh, 9, okay.
And then, but that win in 2016 was their first playoff win since 1990.
Okay.
So this is only their second playoff win since 1990.
And they have that monkey off their back.
It is well deserved.
But then now they're getting, not to jump too quick, but they're going to have some real competition next week, aren't they?
Absolutely. The Hickory Hornets will be their opponent next week, as Hickory defeated Girard tonight. Last score I saw was I think it was 54-0, something like that, something ridiculous like that. So Hickory won big, Sharon won big tonight over Conneaut, and we have our first upset in the making as Northeast in the fourth quarter is up 35-7 over Grove City.
Wow!
So
that's quite the upset.
Yep. So next week's brackets will feature Fort Leboeuf versus Hickory and Sharon versus Northeast. And I said last week Fort Leboeuf should have been the 3rd seed over Grove City. They're kind of proving me right there as Grove City gets demolished by Northeast and Fort Leboeuf takes care of Corry. So, the Bison do have, but both Sharon and Hickory were going to be tough second semifinal matchups.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. And you're going to have to beat Hickory on your way to the District 10 championship one way or the other. So might as well get it done and over with in the semifinals.
Well, this is my perspective, right or wrong. If you can beat a team like Hickory next week, which is a big if, because they are a very fast, strong, talented team. But if you can somehow pull off that upset, there's really, it's hard for me to believe there's going to be a better team than Hickory out there. Maybe there's a team as good as Hickory, but it's hard for me to believe that there's a team that's better. And right now, the way that they played tonight, with the emotion, the focus, the determination, and they were consistent throughout the whole game. For a game where both teams were giving everything, Corry wore out sooner. And the Bison were able to just continue the grind and continue moving forward. I mean, the stats, Sadowski was rushing for quite a few yards. I'm not sure. Was Sadowski able to get to 100 yards tonight?
I'm not sure. I didn't add up the second half stats. But
it would have been close.
Yeah, Walters was also up there, close to 100, probably over 100. So
And they were forced to be one-dimensional, and usually the passing game is a little bit more with Fort Leboeuf, even if it's only 5 or 6 completions. But they were able to go one-dimensional, and they were able to win the game against a Corry team that could really throw the ball. Now, of course, the wind was a huge benefit for Fort Leboeuf's play style and against Corry's play style.
Absolutely. And, the beginning of that second half really turned the tide. They had the blocked punt that was returned for a touchdown, and then they got the fumble in Corry territory. So, those two plays right there kind of took the wind out of Corry's sails and, gave Fort Leboeuf all the momentum going into the middle of the third quarter there.
Well, they do say to have a chance to win, you have to win 2 of the 3 parts of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. But tonight, it seems that the Bison won all 3.
Absolutely. And, it could. They've worked so hard this year. I'm so happy for this crew. And, it's not going to be easy next week, but, that's why they play the games. And, who knows what the weather is going to be like. That may come into play.
Sure.
I haven't done my research on Hickory's team as of yet, but they only have one loss this year, and that was to a team from Ohio. So, Hickory is definitely going to be favored in this game. But with the way Fort Leboeuf played in the second half, and you can see, any kind of special teams or defensive play can turn the tide of the game. And, they get a couple of those plays next week, anything can happen.
Well, right now, consistency and being a complete team is who Fort Leboeuf is. Earlier in the season, we're like, who are they? Are they a running team? Are they a passing team? Are they a defensive team? And what we're seeing right now is that they are able to play high-quality football at every part of the game. And so as long as they keep that going, and with the play calling, the intricacy of the different types of runs that they played, we've seen all those runs before, but it was beautiful to see. It was like a pitcher going against a batter. The little curveball here, a little takeoff, a little speed there. Just the way that they adapted with a little reverse, a little sweep to change up the defense where they couldn't jump off the line as quickly as they wanted to. They had to have a fraction of a second pause to read what the difference was going to be, and that really gave Fort Leboeuf the advantage as they wanted to move that ball down the field.
Absolutely. And, as good as Skylar Sadowski has been on offense this year running the ball, and he has over 1,400 yards this year, counting tonight's game, he may be more valuable on the defensive end. And we saw that tonight when he got dinged up a little bit and had to sit out a series or two. And Corry was able to have the most success that they've had on offense when Sadowski was out of the game. He is just a beast inside there.
Well, he really was the MVP of the game.
Absolutely.
Anything that Walters was able to do offensively once Sadowski came back is because not that he's not a good runner, but Sadowski takes a lot of attention. And then on special teams, he blocks a punt. On defense, he's putting pressure on the quarterback, getting in the passing lane, putting his arms up, causing the ball to be thrown at just a little different trajectory than what the quarterback wants. It was a beautiful thing.
Definitely. And, and on offense, they have other guys like Aiden Strushin, Brady Black, Xavier Blos that can handle the running duties. They don't have anybody on defense that can do what he can do.
That's true.
To his ability, So
he has a different gear, quickness and speed-wise.
Absolutely. So, like you said, I'd have to give Sadowski the player of the game. His blocked punt and return for a touchdown really changed this game, and depending on what happens next week, that could change their season.
It really could have. And really importantly, the coaches have just kept these kids so focused. I haven't seen one moment where anybody is upset on the sideline with somebody else. I haven't seen one moment where they started to unravel. No matter what adversity they faced, no matter what penalties maybe helped them lose a game, or a fumble or an interception, no matter what they've done or whoever they've played, they've been consistent. And that is the most important thing when you're looking to win in the playoffs, is that consistency. And so the coaches deserve a tremendous amount of respect for what they've been able to do with this team this year.
Absolutely. They've done a phenomenal job this year. And, this was a fun game.
This was a great game.
And, this is a fun team to watch. We do know they're going to play Hickory next week. We don't know where. It will be on Friday, November 7th. But just keep an eye out for social media and the news to find out where that game's going to be. Hickory played at Wilmington tonight, so I don't know if it'll be another venue closer to Hickory. It probably will, with them being the top seed.
But that's okay.
We will find out. One thing we do know for sure, we will be back on the air next week for the audio portion of the broadcast. And
and so I want to just mention to all the grandparents listening, aunts and uncles, you might want to start boiling some water and get some pasta on the stove, because these kids are going to be hungry. They burned a lot of calories today, and they earned a nice meal if you can make it for them.
Absolutely. So once again, the final score here in the District 10 3A quarterfinals, Fort Leboeuf 29, Corry 12.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Happy to see you next week. Hope we presented the game well to you, and we're very excited for the next round of the playoffs.
Go Bison.
Thanks for tuning in to today's broadcast of Fort Leboeuf Bison football on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Be sure to join us all season at sunny1057fm.org.
Additional support comes from Brozell Construction, Family Inc. Innovations, Leboeuf Creek Cattle, Waterford Beverage, Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill, High T Fence Systems, O'Brien Transmission, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Jim Brozell Construction, Wise Physical Therapy, and Al's Appliance Sales and Service.